This is Colleen, and this is a sequence that is really a great antidote for the holiday season, this holiday busyness that we put ourselves through. This is a way to kind of come back, connect, have a practice that really kind of focuses us inward, but it's busy enough that you're not going to fall asleep. So it's just a really nice way to open up the heart. We're going to do a lot of heart openers today and some twists. So twists, especially with Chinese medicine, really kind of attend to the body's immune system. So it keeps the immune system kind of very optimized. And twists also are great for digestion, which can get a little low this time of year, and they make your body long. And the heart openers are, what can you say? It's all about joy and connectedness. So let's dive in. Let's tap into the breath. Bring the palms at the heart space. Take a breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, the sense that you can just drop your mind, the busyness of your mind, your thoughts, down into the space of your heart. And let that space just kind of talk for the mind. So it's more about the state of listening instead of chattering. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, take a bow in, offer your practice a word, dedicate the practice to all beings everywhere. And we'll inhale and begin to open up the eyes. And let's get started. So we'll come on to hands and knees to begin. Spread your fingers nice and wide. You see I have a little bit of dazzle going on, the little Christmas lights. So knees under hips and hands underneath the shoulders. And let's take an inhale at the tailbone. Send your breath up the front of your spine, opening up your chest, widening your collarbones apart. And exhale. Use the exhale to round your back and hug the belly in against your spine. Drop your tail, drop the crown of your head, and push actively through your arms. Keep your arms really active and steady. And we'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, lengthen from pubic bone to crown. Exhale, lengthen the back body, pubic bone to crown, or tailbone to crown. And again, inhale. And exhale. Have your toes tucked if they're not tucked already, and then send your hips back to the heels. And just take a little kind of going side to side, little wags of your tail, or little spirals if you like. Just circulate through your hips. Keep your breath really smooth and even so it becomes that anchor that you can really kind of harness yourself to. And then let's come forward. Inhale here. Begin to exhale and pin your upper arms against your side body and extend your legs back, point through your toes. Really reach your energy of your belly back to your toes and lift from your pubic bone all the way up to your third eye, finding your cobra. And exhale and take it down. And then inhale, come back to your cow spine. Exhale, hug the navel in, round your back, and go back to your heels. Sit way back, push yourself way back. Keep your arms active. And then inhale, come forward. Drop the chest, knees, chest and chin. And come through. Really lengthen through your chest. Lengthen as well as lift it. Pour out the energy forward and up. And then tuck the toes, exhale, and go back. And we'll do that one more time. Just warming up the spine. Inhale. Go long, drop those shoulders down. Find a little bit more length. And then exhale, and let's take it back. We're going to lift the right leg up and back. Inhale, extend, point through your right toes. Exhale, bend the right knee and start to tap the right knee outside of your left leg. And again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug it in. Knee to nose. Inhale. 2 more times like this. Exhale, push. Inhale. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, lengthen. This time you're going to tip the hip up, the right hip up, and tip the right toes down to that left side of your mat. And then come forward. This is the exhale. It's going to tap your outer right arm. And then we'll go back and forth with those 2 movements. Inhale, stack the right hip, tap down with the right toes. Kind of really this nice cross-lateral movement. Exhale, hug the knee forward and in, tapping your tricep. And then one more time. This time, maybe you can come down with all 5 of your toes in. Just kind of hinge yourself back with your right arm down towards your left foot. And then come all the way back, reversing it back. Bring the right knee in. And then you're just going to step the right foot outside of your right palm, setting up for this lizard pose. I'm just going to inhale here. Exhale, lean your hips. And then we'll do 3 breaths. Inhale, lifting up and extending through the left heel. Exhale, and we tap it down. So 2 more like that. Last one. And just stay for 1 more breath, really feeling the opening in the front of that left hip. Good. And then just turn your right toes out to the side. You're not going to move the right foot back, and you're going to lean into the left hand and reach the right arm up and towards the back leg, letting the hip just sag towards the floor. Feeling kind of a little swiveling movement in your hips, and go back. Good. Bring the foot forward and then go to the outside edge of your right foot. Again, you're not moving your right foot in, but it's kind of a pigeon leg with that right foot and right hip. And we're just going to go back and forth those 2 movements. So press into your right big toe, flatten the foot down, toes face forward. And then turn the right toes out to the side, lean your hips and reach your right arm back. And then take it all up and forward, turning the right toes forward. And then again, just working onto the outer edge of that right foot, opening into that right hip and letting the hip sink and melt towards the floor. And we'll do those movements 1 more time. So turn out the right toes to the side, lean into your left hand, reach your right arm, take a nice big sweep, opening the shoulder, lean the hips and kind of twizzle in your right hip. And you'll also feel a good stretch in your left side of your abdomen, and then go all the way forward. And then again, one last time to kind of open up that right hip. So the right sole of the foot is kind of facing the left side of your mat. And we'll take 1 more breath, letting the hip sink. You're still on that back knee. Good. And then you're just going to step the right foot back, open the knees nice and wide, bring the big toe mounts to touch, and you'll take a wide knee child's pose, just pressing your weight back. Inhale, come forward. You can kind of ripple through the spine to create a little bit more movement through the rib cage. And then as you come forward, you're letting the hips sink. Your feet will probably come up off the floor, but you push actively with your arms, even with your elbows. They could be bent here, but you want the active push to lift, pull up through the chest. And then we go back. And we come forward. push to lift. And go back. And one more time, coming forward. And going back, dropping back, really pushing back. And maybe even walking the arms out, maybe taking a little puppy pose. Keep the hips actively lifting, and they'll start to stack over the knees more, dropping the heart like a weight towards the floor, extending the throat. Every time you exhale, feel the support coming from your lower belly. Good. And then start to lift up and back. And we'll come back to the hands and knees. We'll go to the left side now. Extend the left leg up and back. Deep breath here. Bend the knee and tap the left knee outside of the right leg. We'll go right up again. Inhale. Exhale, cross and tap. And one more time like that. Cross and tap. Inhale, up and back. Feel that extension. Exhale, tuck in. And two more like that. And exhale. Push actively. Keep those arms strong. And exhale. Good. Inhale. This time we're going to open up that left hip and tip the toes towards the right outer edge of your mat. And then come forward. As you exhale, you'll pull that knee forward and maybe tap the back of your left tricep. And we go back and forth, opening up, tipping the foot down, tipping the hip up. And come forward, feeling that strength. And one more time. This time, maybe the toes tap all the way down, but you keep the heel lifted. You let go of the left arm, let it arc back and sink back, push back into your hip. So let everything hinge and then come back and forward. As the hand comes down, the knee comes forward. Now it steps outside of the left hand. Good. Reposition yourself if you need to for lizard. And we'll stay here for an inhale and an exhale. And then we'll start to actively lift up the back leg, push through and softly drop down. Two more like that. As much as you pull back in that back heel, you go forward, the energy forward through the chest. And exhale, and we take it down. Good. You're going to lean into your left hand, and you're going to work the left toes away from you. Reach the left arm up, lean into the right arm, let the hips sink as you reach towards your back leg. And then come back, rotate your foot forward, and then come on to the outer edge of your left foot. Open up the hip, let the knee just kind of lean away. And you're staying on the back knee. And then again, we're going to turn the toes to face away, press into your right arm, let the hips sink, and go back, the outer edge of that foot. Use your body's own weight. And one more time. And we go back. Hips sag towards the floor. And we come forward. We open up that hip. And we stay for a last breath here. Really trying to sense more of a relaxation into that stretch. Good. And then come back. Knees behind, open the knees really nice and wide. And go back to your child's pose, big toe mounds touch. Come forward. As the pelvis lowers, you push more actively through your arms to lift your chest away from your pelvis. Put shoulder blades down the back. And then go back. And then one more time now, we're going to come forward, and now you're going to straighten both of your legs, but they're going to stay wide. You're going to lower your pubic bone down. Walk your arms forward as much as you can to really straighten the elbows. Push the pubic bone into your mat and use your hands to lift and raise up your chest, curling it up towards the ceiling. Use your legs more actively so you don't sink down into your low back, but you create a back bend that's actively moving out of the low back and up into the crown of your head. One more nice deep breath in. And exhale, and we come down. Let's bring the palms underneath the shoulders. And this time we're going to go up and back and find our downward facing dog. So instead of kind of going into down dog and just bringing all that movement, can we settle into the kind of inner workings of down dog? Can we be still? Finding the stillness in the heart of busyness. It's right there. It's always there. The eye of the storm is always quiet and still. Let any adjustments be very internal, very subtle here. Let's go up on the toes, ripple forward, come out into plank pose, just holding plank here. This is our inhale. Make your toes and your legs really strong, and then go back to your down dog as you exhale. And we'll do 2 more like that. Just move, make it just a little dance with your breath. Finding the strength in those legs. You can go back, you can kind of let the belly drop and create a little arch in the spine as you find your down dog once again. And we'll go forward again into plank. And then bend the knees, arch your spine, push back, lift your tailbone, and go back into your heels. Let's look forward. We're going to take a big step or a walk or a hop up to our hands. Lengthen as you inhale. Tuck your front ribs in. Exhale and fold in. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, palms to the heart. Stay here for a moment. Again, drink in that stillness. I'll just switch to the other side of the mat. And let's inhale. Make your legs long and strong. Go up through your arms. And exhale and take a fold in. We'll take a step back with the left foot. Inhale here. Exhale, and we find plank. Hold for an inhale. The exhale will take you down. You can drop the knees down first and then slowly pin your arms to slow your way towards the floor. Find your back bend on your inhale breath. And exhale, we take it up and back and we find our downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward as we breathe in. Left knee down, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, find your twist. Avrita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, lift the back knee, high lunge. Exhale, reach your arms way forward. Drop down, take a little bow. And then step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold in. Rise up, inhale. Feel the strength coming in your legs. Exhale, fold in. And let's take it all the way down. Taking a step back now with your right leg, dropping the right knee. Press into both palms. Step the left foot back, find your plank pose. Knees may drop down. Maybe you keep them up. Really work the legs more. Inhale, up dog maybe. Exhale, down dog. Stepping the left foot forward now. Right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, find your twist. Tuck the back toes, reach the arms, high lunge. And go forward, really go forward through the arms, past the head. Step the back foot up. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold in. Rising up. Exhale, and we fold down. Take a step back. Left knee down. Plank pose. Slowly lower. Inhale, up dog, or you stay low with your cobra. Exhale. Move from the belly, find your down dog. And step the right foot forward. Inhale, we're going a little faster now. Stay slower if you need to. Exhale, right into that twist. Warming up the body. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, reach and bow forward. Back foot up, inhale. And fold in, exhale. Step right foot back. Right knee down. Plank pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot. Anjaneyasana. And twist, exhale. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, bow. Back foot up. Take a breath, lengthen the spine. Exhale, and bow over your legs. Rise up, push the floor actively. Reach up. Exhale, and we fold in. We'll do this namaskar one more time, stepping the left knee back and down. Plank pose. Lower. Up dog, cobra. Down dog. Stay with your breath. Left foot forward. Right knee down, inhale. Exhale, take your twist. High lunge, breathe in. Exhale, bow. Back foot up, inhale. Exhale, and fold down. Let's take the hips down and back. Engage your outer glutes, your outer thighs, outer ankles, outer knees, belly back. Let's take the arms up, find that chair squat. Inhale. And exhale, take it a little lower. This time, inhale, cactus arms here. Tip your tailbone up. And a little back bend. And then exhale and bring the hands down. Okay, so we're going to go through a little series, add on to it. So we're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. Flex the left toes down. You can keep a little bend in the right knee. We'll come into a supported warrior. Big breath here. Exhale, maybe you float the arms back. Good. Reach long through your spine, out through the crown of your head as you go back through your left heel. And then bring your hands down beside your front foot. Step your left toes down and lift your right leg up and back right away, down dog split. Look forward, coil in with that right knee as you step the right foot forward and come right back to that warrior three. Maybe the hands reach alongside. Step the feet together, sink the hips, and we find the chair squat. So we'll do those three poses again. And get a little lower in your chair. Inhale and exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands down for support or sweep them right alongside of you, finding your warrior three. Find your down dog split. Hands down, left foot down, right foot goes up. Right foot steps forward, left foot goes back up. Good. Step the feet together, hips down and back. Inhale. And exhale. Feel in the heat. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, palms to the heart. Take a breather. Check in. Drop all of your thoughts. Drop all of that engagement. Find stillness. Check in. Connect. Good. Drop the feet down and back. Inhale. Same side, left leg goes up. Sweep the arms. And then let's take the right leg up and back, down dog split. And now we're going to go back and forth without the chair squat now. Just warrior three, down dog split. Warrior three. Step right into it if you can. You can use blocks. Blocks can be very helpful. Take it up. Yeah, we're going to stay in this down dog split. And we're going to stack those hips again. Let the right toes start to come down. Maybe they just hang. That's fine, right? You're still getting that nice stretch across the front of the right hip. But maybe you can swivel the left foot. Right toes come down, right heel stays lifted. And just kind of pull back. Sit on your right heel. Now hinge at the hips a little. And then come forward. Take a nice big rock star. Really push with your feet and lift, kick up from behind your sacrum. And then you're going to come forward. You're going to turn. You're going to swivel on that left foot. And you're going to bring your right leg right underneath you, out to the side. Find your fallen triangle. Again, make your legs really strong. Inhale, exhale, bend the back leg. Inhale, exhale, bend the front leg. Open your chest. Go back and forth like that. Work your mobility. Left hand down, right leg goes up and back. Coil in the knee. And we're going to step the foot up. Left knee comes down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale. And exhale. Anjaneyasana with a side bend. You can reach for a block, or your right fingertips might come to the floor. They can stay at your hip if you don't have a block. See, even if you go into this side bend, you can really start to let the hips sink a little bit more. And then start to turn this into a back bend. So really reach powerfully. So there's a real sharpness to the left arm as you start to face the ceiling with your chest. And slowly, we're going to find our Pavrita Partial Konasana once again. So you can either take prayer hands here, slide your tricep down the outside of your right leg, or you can even start to come into a bind. Working a little bit more into those twists. I promise twists, and we're getting them. Inhale, exhale, see if you can stay in the twist, the bind, or even the prayer hands, and just pull back into the right hip. And then come forward. Right hand down. The right hand could go to the outside of the right foot, the inside of the right foot. It could go on the foot. You can use a block for this. We're going to pick up the back knee, step it in a bit, and we're going to find Pavrita Trikonasana. So this is a tough pose. Really stabilize your hips. Work the twist from above the navel point. Keep the left side of your sacrum lifted. And maybe the right arm reaches up. Smile. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Nice, everybody. Exhale. We're going to take this into even a more expressionist twist, and that's going to be Pavrita Ardha Chandrasana. So lift that left leg up, bend the knee, maybe even reach for the back foot. You can have the back leg straight, just a classic Pavrita half moon. And if you have a hold of the leg, maybe drop your chest down as you lift. Try to lift the thigh up. Create a little bit more space between your legs without opening the left hip too much. That's kind of the work here. And then you can either go back to, remember this, we tap the knee outside, we were on the knees, but you can see if you can just tap down and lift up. And then if you want a little bit more action, you can tap down. I'll come turn to face you. You can tap down and then extend that left leg, lean into your left hand and reach in front of your right shin for that left foot. Fun. It's like a backwards dragonfly pose. See if you can press that leg against the back of your right leg enough that you can balance. It's a little crazy. And then we're going to go right back up. And what you're going to do is just swing the leg up. So take that big abduction and then cross that left leg over the right leg. So we have crossed ankles here. And just take a nice forward fold. Dropping the head down. And then from here, keep that left foot. It's going to be a little bit over to the right side of the mat. And step the right foot back. Drop the right knee down. So it's like a little swivel lunge. Lean your right hip a little bit. Turn and look at your right foot behind you. And then pull back. A little kind of stretch out to that actively working leg. And then we're going to step up. You can take a little vinyasa in between if you like. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. Sit the hips down and back. Chair squat. Reach the arms. Cactus arms. And start to really find that back bend. Lift the tailbone. Send the chest forward and up. Really widen your collarbones and smile. And then exhale and you fold in. Good. And then we're just going to go into the classic form of our chair squat. Inhale, exhale. We sweep the hands down. Plant your hands. Lift your right leg up. Left foot is down this time for that warrior three. Support it or float the arms alongside. And then press the palms down. Step into the right toes and lift the left leg straight up and back. Find that down dog split. Come forward. Right away, warrior three. Step the feet together, find your chair squat. And then we'll do this little sequence with the chair squat, and then we're going to do it without. So get a little lower, inhale, exhale, warrior three, balance or use your hands. And then bring the hands down, so step into the right foot and lift the left leg straight up and back. Step it forward, warrior three. Good workout. Drop the hips, reach the arms, chair squat. Inhale and exhale, hug that navel in. Rise up, big breath. And take the exhale. And again, find that little bit of quiet, that little bit of dropping into yourself past all of the busyness. Good, and inhale, sink down. And we go back to our warrior three. Now we step back, left foot up and back, down dog split. Step it forward, warrior three. Down dog split. Up and back. Step it forward, warrior three. Stay balanced. And last time, up and back. Stay here now. Open the hips. And pry open that left hip, get the nice stretch. Let the left foot just kind of tip down towards the floor. Maybe you step it all the way down. And bring the hips down. And reach for that back foot. Come all the way back. Take a fuller rock star if you like. And then come forward, but the left hand comes down. That left leg rotates underneath you and slides out to the right side of your mat. Lean into your left arm, make your left shoulder butt into your back. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Reach the arms forward. Go down. Inhale, come up out of it. Bend into the left knee and open your chest. And go back and forth like that, just playing with it. So it doesn't have to look like my movement. You don't have to mirror what I'm doing, but just feel something. Explore a movement on your own. And open. And this time we're going to press the right hand down, left leg goes up. Big breath. Coil in. Step the foot forward. Right knee comes down. Anjaneyasana. Down, exhale, sink. Anjaneyasana with a lateral side bend. Lateral flexion in the spine, reaching the right arm. Real sharp reach to the right arm. Left finger's down or left hand can come to a block. Really try to mobilize the hips. Let the hips open. Good. And then use that right arm to lift the chest. Keep the left fingertips down. Maybe the right comes down. Press into the floor to lift your spine up. Slowly come out. And we're going to take the arms up and then exhale, twist to the left leg. So the first of our 3 twists here, getting a little deeper if you can, sliding the back of that right tricep down the outer left leg. Really scooping the belly and turning everything above the navel towards the left. Maybe you take a bind. Open that left shoulder. Let the hips sink. Good. You can tuck the toes to start to take the hips back, straightening out the left leg, keeping the twist. Drop that outer left hip. Good. Come forward. Have your blocks for assist if you need to. Lift the back knee and tuck in the right foot a little bit. Keep that left hip really drawing back. Find a placement for your right hand. And again, it could be higher up on a block, which will make it a lot easier. Good. Really bring a lot of stability through the hip, and don't let the right side of the sacrum dip down too much. Activate through the right leg. So you feel your sacrum have really connected. And then lift the left arm. See if you can draw it a little more length through your spine. Work those legs. Smile. And then come forward. That's Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. Bending the leg. If, right, not a big deal. If you're not, it's a lot of work in any way, shape, or form. Drop down, lift the right leg up a little bit more. And then maybe start to sit the hips down, or you can just tuck the knee, just like we did from hands and knees. So you can just go back and forth, little movement like this. Or again, you can take the leg all the way behind you, lean into your right hand, maybe reach and hold to your right outer foot, and come into that kind of backwards dragonfly. Good. Keep your weight forward enough, and then maybe you can pick up your right arm as well. Come out of this however you can, and then just abduct. Ouch. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, and then cross the right foot over the left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, lengthen over your legs. Oh man, that feels really good. And then we're just going to keep the right foot where it is. So it's a little across the mat. You're going to step your left foot back towards the right outer edge of your mat. Go down on your left knee. Inhale and just turn to the right. Just kind of sink a little bit. Feels good. And then come forward, keep the placement of the feet, and then just go back with the hips, just hinge the hips back. Look for the quiet underneath all of that gift wrapping, all of that flash and bang and dazzle razzle. It's there, I promise. And then we're going to just step back into our child's pose. And again, we'll try for another puppy pose. So just kind of slide the arms away from you. Lift the hips actively. Keep your belly turned on. That's going to be the support for your lumbar spine. So drop your chin down, extend your throat forward, soften your shoulders. You might even use a block underneath your front ribs for this. And you can also hover your chest. And then we'll come into our Sphinx pose, engaging the legs, using the fingertips to actively pull the chest forward out of your hips and your legs. Let your spine grow taller through the crown of your head. And then we're going to just tuck the toes and just come up just for a forearm plank. Really turn up your leg. Yeah, just bringing the spine back to neutral. And then drop the knees down. And we'll sit back in Virasana. So I'll play with 2 blocks for this. And I like to use both blocks. I like the soft blocks, but I also like the cork blocks. They're a little sturdier for what we're going to do. And this is walking camel. I think I'll turn towards you. So I'll do it on the high side just to begin. So they'll be down back beside your feet, your outer feet. And let's just stay here for a moment. Take a breath in and out. You can actually reach for your palm, your wrist, and feel your heartbeat through the radial side, the thumb side of your wrist, with your index and middle finger right into those tendons, right on the inside. Or you can just bring your fingertips just below your sternum, right at the xiphoid. And you can just feel your heartbeat. So we really connect to that strata of our being, our aliveness, just that pure energy, that pure pulse of aliveness that we share with everything, right? Trees pulsate, everything, birds, insects, all animals have a heartbeat, right? But everything pulsates with energy in some way, shape, or form. Good. And so we're going to start to press into the blocks just to pick up the seat. And you can tuck your toes for this as well. So begin to open up the front of the thighs into the hip flexors and up into either side of the abdomen, either side of the chest, either side of the throat, even up into the eyes. Stay here for a nice big breath. And if the blocks aren't available, or if they're still too low for you, then you would just kind of float your hands, so you can keep your hands balanced in the back on either side of your sacrum. Good. And just as your hips come forward, you keep picking up your chest, letting it grow a little taller. Good. And then reach for your blocks and sit your hips to your heels. And then we're going to come up again, either using your blocks or not. You can also use a chair or some kind of level furniture behind you. And you're going to step your right foot out. Okay, so this is the walking camel. And then you really kind of pulsate your left hip forward, push down into your blocks, pick up your chest, and then go back down with your hips, keeping your right foot forward. We'll do that a couple times. Inhale, go up. Feel that lift and that raising up of your chest. To exhale, hinge your hips back and down. Go maybe on the inside of your calf, and then we'll do one more time. Go up, energy up, sturdiness in the legs. And if the left toe is tucked, you can untuck it now. And then as you come down, you're going to see if you can lower the thigh on the inside of that calf. If that's not possible, then what you'll do is you'll just angle the leg towards the front and then sit down. So it's kind of half Sukhasana. So I'm going to demo it as half Virasana. And then wherever you are, you're going to take your right leg and you're going to take half lotus with your right leg. And if half lotus is not in your practice, and you definitely don't want to do half lotus if you've never done it before, or if you have any knee issues. So you'll just take the right foot on the inside of that left leg. And those of you with the leg crossed in half Sukhasana, it'll just be in front of your left leg. Okay, so I'm going to demo it half lotus. Squeeze the thighs together if you're in half lotus, and that's a sure thing for you. And then to take the bind, you lean forward, turn towards the right, reach around. This is an internal rotation of your right arm, your right shoulder, as you reach for that right foot with your right hand. And then bring yourself back up. Use the push of your left hand down and lift and turn your spine. Float your gaze over your right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathe out, land in your hips and your legs. Good. Grow tall with your inhale breath. That's my dog barking, if you can hear. And then what we're going to do, the last breath, you're going to turn your gaze. You're going to keep the spine in this twist towards the right, but really above your shoulders, you're going to turn your cervical spine, your neck, towards your left shoulder, and then drop your left ear down and just really breathe into that right curve of your neck. It just feels wonderful. Soften your shoulders. Good. We'll come up. You'll reach for your blocks again, just to step the foot forward back into that walking camel, lifting the hips up. Those of you that had Hastikasana, you just keep it there. Big breath. And then if you do have Hastikasana, then turn that leg back, and we're going to step the right leg back so that we're back on our shins and we're up in our camel, using the blocks or without the blocks, whatever feels good for you. You can reach for your toes here if you like. And if you're using the press of your hands, really kind of let the palm prints kind of smooth the tissue of the glutes, the upper glutes downward. So you feel a little proportionate lift in the front of your pelvic rim towards your belly. Belly lifts towards the center eye of your chest. And then you complete the back bend towards that arc right into the third eye. Good. Then hug in, lift through the chest, lower down, reach for your blocks again. And we're going to step out with the left foot, walking camel. Pick up from behind your right glute, squeeze up, step into your left foot, open and lift your chest. Exhale, you're going to start to come down. Good. Keep going up, really working into the front of that right hip flexor. And down a little bit, moving in on the inside of your right lower leg with your hip and your thigh, and pointing your right toes back now. And we're going to go all the way down. And again, you'll take that half Sukhasana with your right leg if need be. And then the left leg, if you can't take your half lotus, then you'll just take half Sukhasana. And if you have the half Virasana, but you still can't do the half lotus, then you just have the foot on the inside of your right leg. Okay, so again, watching the knee always. And then if it's okay and your lotus is really good with you, then just squeeze the thighs in. Inhale, exhale, and come forward. Take a dip over your front leg if you have half lotus, and then start to turn towards the left to really get a whole internal rotation of that left shoulder. Come up, push against the left leg with your right hand to lift yourself back up and take an inhale for length. Exhale, drives into the twist. Again, twists make your body long, and they're so good with getting out any excess tension through the vertebrae column. A lot of tension kind of locks in along the vertebrae. Really see if you can close your eyes and feel like you can release those little pockets of tension for yourself. Soften your shoulders, everyone. We're going to take a last inhale and turn the head, keeping the spine rotated to the left, but we turn the gaze towards the right shoulder, and then we drop the ear down towards the right shoulder. So we create that beautiful curve in the left side of the neck, even along the jawline, getting into the lymph, those lymph pockets along the jaw. Good. Soften your left collarbone and widen it a little. And take another breath. And exhale. And we're slowly going to release the leg, come back to that walking camel. Good. Undo the angle of your Sukhasana leg and go back to this position for your inhale. Good. Exhale, and you're going to step the feet together back to your camel pose. And you'll just take any camel that you can really just stay and breathe in. And I'm just going to show a little kind of camel trick that you can go into a full back bend, a full Urdhva Dhanurasana from camel. So you have to tuck your toes. And you have to trust the universe on this. If you have a drop back, you're pretty confident. So you reach the arms up, you keep that lift in your chest. You keep the strength in your toes. You're going to need them. And you keep lifting the chest as you start to arc back. Look towards the floor and let your knees come up. You land right on your feet. Inhale. Lengthen your pelvis away from your belly button and lengthen your chest forward away from your belly button at the same time. Make your arms strong, make your legs strong. And take one more breath. And exhale. And you can come down and float yourself back up. Or you can just come down on your head and just come out of it any way you'd like. Beautiful, everybody. And what we're going to do now is just come into boat pose. So take a moment and really whatever back bend you do, try to always do a back bend with a little bit of longer, more attentive breathing, and then really trying to slow down your breath. Of course, an active back bend that I just showed is kind of not going to be the way for that. That's more about transitioning and mobility. But once you get into a back bend that you can sustain and just even and smooth breath throughout, and it just brings this beautiful sense of nourishment for your spine, for your body, for your whole nervous system. So it's stimulating, but in a very beautiful, calming way, or it eventually becomes calming. So we're going to bring, again, a little bit more structure back to the spine. So we'll take boat pose, and you can take any variation of boat. You can have the knees bent, and you can stay with a hold. And what I'm going to do is just hold the toes with a yogi toe lock and come up. Soften your shoulders, but keep your chest lifted and keep your collarbones nice and wide. And then you can roll back if you have yogi toe hold. And try to come up with straight legs. And let's see if I can do that again. There, I got it. Smile. One more nice big breath in. And exhale. And we'll just take a roll back to Halasana. Walk your arms forward alongside you, and then use your palms to walk up and just support your low back or the back rim of your pelvis. So it could be a softer inversion here. Your knees could be bent, your ankles can be slightly soft, and we're just kind of using this restorative inversion as a way to just kind of reduce any stagnation in the lower limbs. We really work the legs a lot today. So just let all of that go. Surrender the work now and let the stagnation clear. Let the fluids in the body just rebalance themselves. You can go up a little bit more strongly into a fuller Sarvangasana, the queen of poses. So great for your nervous system. Walk your hands, maybe your palms can go right to your kidneys and use the energetic feel of your palms to support the kidneys. In Chinese medicine, the kidneys contain the jing, which is the essential kind of energy for the body. It's how we kind of become who we are. It's that sustainable energy and power. It comes from the kidneys, that essence. And then start to maybe hinge at the hips and let the legs go over onto cloud pose. And again, you can roll your shoulders underneath you. Again, feel the heat of the palms against the coolness of the kidneys. You know, like you can replenish your own vitality. Release the arms and slowly lower down. Open up the shoulders. Good, hug the legs in. And we'll just take a soft reclined twist now, keeping the legs stacked and bent. Let's go to the right side. Gaze turns left. Reach your arms really wide apart. Breathe in and out. Lift up the legs. Legs go to the left. Big reach through the arms. Gaze turns right. Inhale, come up. Hug everything in. Squeeze everything in. Make a fist. Squeeze your toes. Squeeze your eyes. Squeeze your mouth. Exhale and release everything. Take a breath in and then adjust your body however you need to and use any support that feel good for you right now, and find your shavasana, your resting pose. And really don't skimp on this, especially for the holiday season. You want to really stay connected to yourself. There's so much outward moving, outward giving, right? So give back to yourself. There's a lot of worth and a lot of value just being, just finding that stillness, even within patterns of busyness. So even moving like we did on the mat today is always good to just constantly bring yourself back to that reservoir of stillness that carries everything, that everything evolves from, that everything rises out of and dissolves back to. And with that, let's bring the palms together, whether you're in Shavasana or if you're seated. We'll close the practice. Take a nice deep inhale together. And exhale, Namaste.